It's the venue that's had plenty of success come through it since the mid-2010s, as well as a few Lombardi trophies. It's GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today, two teams hailing from the AFC, between the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs. Ready to get this game started, here's Eddie Pinheiro. And we're off from Arrowhead. Return starts at the 3. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. And first carry now, Rashawn Smith. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
That's the kind of yardage it's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Big catch made, and he got both feet in. He gets 16 yards on that play, and that's a Chiefs first down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sell that flat route, break it off to an angle, break out the first down.
And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Third and long for him here. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw. I'm going to call that one a little tester, Kate. Kind of like a 5 to 8 foot cut. You really hope to make all of them, but you know, over the course of the season you won't. In that case, you won't right through.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Smith on the return. Good work so far. He's got room. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
Field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Fields to throw. That's caught. It's Breece Hall. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs. Well, you love love when you can go from first down to first down, Brock. Makes things easy for an offense, and it is the primary reason that he gets looks that he does.
Every touch he gets has a solid chance of working out just like that. And it's why many of these first quarter looks have his name all over them.
Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
Fields out of the gun. Buying some time right. That one's taken in by the rookie out of USC. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's good for a Jets first down.
Here we go. Move 58, move 58. Go.
It's a toss headed left with Hall. Give him 5 on that play as he gets him inside the red zone.
With all these collisions, these running backs take between the tackles. Sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
They give on 2nd to Hall. And he's going to take it in for the New York touchdown. The Jets finish off their opening drive. Breece Hall with the touchdown. Eddie Pinheiro on now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jets one up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And this drive will start inside the 25. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10.
Yellow. Yellow.
Operating from the gun. Here's Mahomes. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
Never ever a great look when your quarterback's picking himself up a few seconds into a drive. They're going to need a lot more fight on 2nd down and a whole lot of yardage to get this back on track.
To the air, Mahomes. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
You know exactly what he's thinking. Hopefully next time it's a little bit easier. The degree of difficulty on that one high. Throwing a double coverage, odds are against you.
Screen here for Smith. Breaks the tackle. He's got space ahead. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
That's taken on the 7. And he gets them what he can, but still pretty deep in their own territory starting out. New York to the line. 1st and 10. They start the drive with Hall. And that's an 8-yard chunk to start this one. That brings up 2nd and 2. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2. And time runs out before they get the snap off. That's the end of one. 7-3 is our score. Back to Arrowhead in just a moment. Time for the 2nd quarter of play. It's Jets football. They're looking at 2nd and pretty short.
331, 331. Right.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Good play on the football defensively. He knocks it away, and that's going to bring up 3rd down.
I know know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Third down give to Hall. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Moving quickly, trying to get set. Ooh, maybe some nerves there. He moved early on fourth down. Now we're going to see if this affects their choice to go for it. Now, not a traditional spot we see teams going for it, but they only need a few inches.
Here we go. Go.
Fields now on fourth. That's cut beyond the marker. And they take him down at the 24-yard line. So they come through with 6, and they're rewarded for going for it on fourth down.
As a quarterback, you just know in that situation when you go for it on fourth down, it may mean sometimes thrown into double coverage. But if you're going to go for it, at least give your guy a shot to make a play. And against really long odds, he came up with a big-time catch.
And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
That's another Jets. First down.
We've set it downs from 37.
First down, Jets.
Don't jump. Ready? 222.
Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Juan Thornhill getting there for the stop.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Finds a man, right side. Gain of about 8 here. Nice pickup, but he stopped a second before he can move those chains.
A whole bunch of credit goes to just about everybody on that offense. Guys up front needed to give the QB enough time to let that play develop. Excellent effort by that receiver to stay alive and for a quarterback to scan the field and find his completion.
This one goes for 3 yards. And it's good for a New York first down.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
Here we go. 11. Hey, 10. Chip slant. Right.
Throwing on first down. Fields has him on the quick hitter. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook is wide open.
Fields to throw it. Short pass brought in. He's still going at the 30. And he can't get the touchdown, Brock, but plenty of yardage. He goes out down near the 10. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
And he has the New York touchdown. The Jets now lead by 10. Breece Hall with the touchdown. Extra point try now from Pinheiro. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jets drive their lead to 11. Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. Brings in the kick at the 9. Decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. This, the snap that's going to take us inside the 2-minute warning.
Hey, 43, 43, 57. Yellow. All right, 80. Hey, 15, 15, 15. Where's that?
They'll run here on first down. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. Offense to the line for second down.
Yellow. My side.
Off the play fake, it's Mahomes. Bails out of the pocket quick. On the run, deep down the left side. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So they're left facing third and long.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far. Well, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
43, 43. My side.
Here he goes, third and long. He's loaded another one up. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You never, ever, as an offense, like 3 and outs, Kate, but you really don't like them on third down when you throw into tight coverage like that. Got to manufacture a better look.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Jets getting ready for this first and 10.
Here we go. Hey, kid. Jack.
Looking to throw Fields. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he won't be able to take it all the way. Got close though. Out of bounds just shy of that 10-yard line. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
From the gun, it's Hall. And the defense holds him at the 2, Brock. He can't get beyond the line. Still a couple yards short of that end zone. Third down, 1 yard to go. The Jets take their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Third and a lone yard coming up.
Here we go. Stay high.
Looking to throw on third and 1. Flushed out of the pocket. And the crowd game works for the touchdown. The Jets boat racing them to the halftime locker room. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. Oh, and he eats a hit to bring it into that, right near the 25-yard line. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. On first and 10, here's Mahomes. This is Royals working the left side. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out.
Sure showed off some mobility on that play. Got outside the pocket and easily found an open man.
Second and 4.
Here's Mahomes now. Chased out to his right. 12 yards on that play and a good call nets him the first. The Chiefs signal for a timeout. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. First down from the 42. Throwing from the gun. Rolling left, buying some time. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard at second. From the 40-yard line now. This is 1st and 10.
First down. First and 10 at the
Now it's
40-yard line.
Mahomes. And that's incomplete with 7 seconds left. Time for one, maybe 2 more snaps. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
The Chiefs bring on Harrison Butker for the field goal. He was good on his first kick. Gonna need to hit this one well to go 2 for 2. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Smith on the return. This manages to get just beyond that 30-yard line.
Hey, you go into halftime with a double-digit lead, your #1 objective, and they'll all say it in that locker room, it's 0-0 to begin the second half. So you want to come out firing the same way you did in that first half, and that kick returner, he took matters in his own hands.
Hey, never mind. Monday. Here we go, tonight. 5, Angel. Night.
Fields on 1st down. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good for a Jets 1st down. 1 play in, and they are already close to midfield. 1st and 10. Here's Fields. They set up the screen here for Hall. And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, the defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. David Njoku, the guy he was looking for. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
EQ. Here we go, tonight.
Another throw for Fields. Forced out to his right. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
I'll say, Kate, that defense looked even better, sharper on 3rd down than they did on 2nd. They played that one so tight there was no window to throw.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Starting out trips right here. 1st and 10.
Yellow. 43.
They fake the handoff. Now Mahomes. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Yikes, as that pass falls to the ground, Kate, you kind of just sense their desperation, just kind of oozing out of them. Running out of time to start connecting on more of these and really break open the scoring in a way they just have not been able to do so far.
This fight good enough to gain about 4. It's 3rd down.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
Looks like a design run here from Mahomes. And that run good for a handful as it brings up 2nd down.
And that's a pretty modest pickup for a QB keeper. On a traditional handoff, you'll take that yardage, but those QB keepers, so many times, they're really designed, Kate, for chunk plays in my double digits, and they nearly got it there.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Completed over the middle. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Give him 8 yards on the play. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Brought in by his back Smith. And he's able to get it past midfield and down into the Jets side.
You know, these running backs today, they are so versatile. Doesn't matter if they're running it, or in this case, same principle applies on routes out of the backfield. You don't get somebody close to him, that throw is headed his way.
That's incomplete on second down.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Good moving drive, but it could stall out here. We've got 3rd and 4. Again, Mahomes to throw. He gets it to Rice. And they bring him down, but not before he advances it all the way to the 20. It's again at 27 yards to move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? It doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into 1st and goal.
A play like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the ball. Right on the outside, where he's got the space and a lot more room to work.
Smith can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. That one connects. And they'll get there and stop him at the line. So they'll have some time to prepare for 3rd and goal. We're at the end of our 3rd quarter. It's the Chiefs in possession to start. They trail, but that lead is reachable. Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for 3rd and goal.
Fight on these two. Attack! 15.
Mahomes. And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal. Took his shot at 6 that time. And that forces them to 4th and goal. They're going to go for it here, trailing in the 4th. Desperation time here. And he hauls that one in. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs can make it a 1-score game as they trim the lead. Man, Brock, that defense held up 3 straight plays. They just couldn't come up with the one final stop they needed to get off the field.
But how about this offense? Courage of the offense to run it back for one more snap and make the adjustments on 4th and goal to finally punch it in. Quite the mini little chess match we just saw play out over those last 4 plays.
Chiefs 13. Harrison Butker to kick off 14.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock, so they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Hey, kid. Up. 3-19. Go.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Has a man downfield. This is Washington. And they are all the way into that red zone.
That's just so good. I mean, that is teaching tape right there. It's what you want your guys to do. To not just catch it and fall down, but have a plan. Yes, you got to catch it first, but then have a plan to go attack. Be aggressive. Get those yards after catch. That is a job well done.
On the move, headed right. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. throw doesn't lead to 6. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Well, he went for it all right there. That was a highlight reel waiting to happen if he could connect. So good to get out of the pocket and keep the play alive, but even better defensively to force the incompletion.
Buys time, rolling right. Now he takes it. Oh, he lost the football! And it looks like the offense was there to recover it. They're inside the 5. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got to have better ball security than that.
Charge into traffic, but the line doesn't budge. They stall him out short.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
It's Hall again. And this time he gets in for the New York touchdown. The Jets have a commanding 14-point lead now in the 4th. Brees Hall with the touchdown. His 3rd total score in this game. That one splits the uprights. And the Jets lead by 15 now.
Eddie Pinheiro set to kick off.
Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Now Kansas City looks settled in and ready. Here we go. 1st and 10. There's a dive up the middle. And he powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Offense up to the line fast.
At the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Another carry for him. He got mighty close, didn't he? But they marked him just short of the 1st. He's at the 34. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
Brings up 3rd down.
Off play action. It's Mahomes. Vacates quickly left side. And someone steps in. It's intercepted. And the Jets are going to get the football inside the enemy 40. A pretty tough play for him to make right there, partner.
It's such a fascination with these kind of plays today, Kate.
There is. Rolling that direction, but it is hard for him to deliver a pass at full power. I mean, my stomach's hurting just watching him try to get those hips around, and it is indeed picked off.
Because fundamentally, it's so unsound. It's why these passes will be underthrown, not having that velo float in the air. You know, fun is in the fundamentals, right? It's the first 3 letters of fundamentals. It's fun because it leads to success. You take this kind of risk, well, it can blow up in your face as it did right there.
From the red zone now. Couldn't get the screen set up properly. Broadcast incomplete, and they're going to look for better results now on 2nd down.
This quarterback, you love when that screen pass is called. At least I used to. And you want to attract that defense and all those guys coming after you. But you also got to find the throwing lane, and he couldn't do it on that one.
Fields throwing here. He rolls to his right. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And that's a New York touchdown. The Jets have likely locked up the win right there.
Eddie Pinheiro.
Well, Brock, not much to say other than the fact that this offense on point. They're just clicking today.
Just rolling. I mean, this is clinic. This is what I call teaching tape. Being well prepared, and more importantly, going out there and executing at a high level.
Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
At their own 28-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Back to throw Mahomes. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
That right there, Kate, that's taking the hard lessons from the previous drive, putting it into practice right here. You don't see a throw you like, it's too tight a window, don't risk yet another interception.
This finds its targets. That's Royals. And he'll get it up to the 44. Working quickly here.
That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Out of the gun. They'll give it to him inside. And he's going to have about 2. It's second down now.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning here in KC. Chiefs trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. Second down now, 7 to go. To the air, Mahomes. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Jets are going to have it after his second interception of the season.
The Jets. They'll take over first and 10 at the 45-yard line.
See how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45.
Hey, 550. Here we go. 222, 222. Say hi.
They're going to pass it here. He locates Adonai Mitchell. And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And it's good for a New York first down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
And the Jets first down.
Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Escapes the pocket. Throw right side, caught by Njoku. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
As any quarterback will tell you over the course of their career, it's not easy to deliver an accurate throw as you're about to get smacked.
Hall running between the tackles. And he will not get the first, but ooh, this is close. Looks like they're going to have about a yard at most to gain after he picked up 3. Third down. Offense headed to the line. Just need to punch it forward a yard to reset the downs. They go right back to Hall. And he will take it in. Touchdown, New York. The Jets put up even more points in a win. Breece Hall with the touchdown. His third of the game on the ground.
Let's see, Kate, I think in bowling, you get 3 strikes, that's a turkey. You know, in hockey or soccer, you score 3 goals, that's a hat trick. What are we going to call this, other than simply splendid?
Extra point try now from Pinheiro. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jets grow their lead yet again.
Pinheiro set to kick off.
Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. He fields it from the 8. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Chiefs coming up to the line here. It's first and 10. Now a give running right. Oh, man, nothing for him again, Brock. It has been a struggle all game as this one's quickly mopped up, too.
He was taken down.
First play of the drive lost a yard. Need to get it back and some change here. Second down. Off the play fake. It's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Still time for a couple of plays, though. 15 seconds left. Tried connecting with Xavier Worthy there. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. It's a designed run from Mahomes. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a Chiefs first down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
So it's a road win for the Jets. Well, look, again, it's just a good start to this season. Might be becoming something a little bit better, Brock. 4-0 now. There may be some serious legs to the start they're having here.
Yeah, let's not go calling them the 72 Dolphins yet, Kate. A lot of season left. But you'll hear coaches, especially in this first month of the season, call it stacking wins.
Yep.
And you know, if you can sustain success and you stack these wins early, you're typically a playoff team late.
So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another We are looking live at a beautiful fly-in to Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. But even if you close your eyes, Brock, you'd still know exactly where you were by the rallying cry of the Jaguar faithful in the stands. Straight ahead is what should be a very entertaining matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cam Little after the opening kick. And we're off from Jacksonville. It's Brashard Smith now with the return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Now it's the first carry for Isaiah Pacheco. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You can stick to the ground, you can throw beyond the sticks, really create some indecision now defensively.
4 yards on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 6. They run. It's the rookie from SMU. Ooh, they're on that one. 2nd down's going to end up in a loss of yards.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Third down, it's Mahomes. It's his running back. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Perhaps a little misplaced sense of urgency on their opening drive. We'll find out together, and they're going for this from their own side. Here's Mahomes on a designed run. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. So they come through with 6, and they're rewarded for going for it on 4th down. From the 40-yard line now, and this is 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Play action, Mahomes. And he's just going to huck this one into about row C there. And some lucky fan going to haul in a heck of a souvenir.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
This is caught downfield by Rice. And he is down all the way to that 15-yard line.
I have loved this opening script. Aggressive, taking your shots. You know, the numbers tell you you get an explosive play on a drive in the NFL today, you're typically going to score. With that shot down the field, well, they're knocking on the door in the red zone.
Into the red zone after that big pickup. It's 1st and 10 from the 15. Working inside the red zone. From the goal line. And he stopped as we get closer to our first point to this ball game. It's going to be 1st and goal now.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Back to the air, Mahomes. Oh, shouldn't have let that one go. It's intercepted. Greg Newsome has it.
Mahomes pass intercepted. The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 3-yard line.
First call here coming from the shotgun.
Hey, easy. Route. Sink right. Hey, son. 11. Here we go.
Lawrence going to throw straight away here. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Once again here, 2nd and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're not going to stop him until he gets out to that 16-yard line. Offense to the line fast.
Gun. Jaguars. First down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
1st and 10. It's Lawrence. Short pass brought in. And he's going to get this one to the 36-yard line. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
And the Jaguars.
24. Here we go.
Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. And have him gain about a handful there. Trent McDuffie getting there for the stop.
Some really good patience right there. It's hard to do for runners in this league because these holes close up so fast. But he was patient. He was explosive. He got a nice little gain on the ground.
1st down run, nabs him 5. Now 2nd and 5. Lawrence, a quick throw out wide. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
13, Lou. Hey.
1st down throw, Lawrence. Connection made, Travis Etienne. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down. Now the completion rate is strong, partner. The yards, you got to imagine, will start to come soon enough.
You never go broke taking a profit. And you know this one too, Kate. The crumbs always lead to...
Oh, the cookie. Now I'm hungry. Check this one down to Etienne. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
We've finished one quarter in what's still a scoreless game. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the 2nd. Back to Everbank Stadium in just a bit. Back for the 2nd quarter. It's Jaguar football. They'll have 2nd down as they look to continue this good drive.
Kill. Sink right. Silver.
I'm drawn up here for Lawrence. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. Here's Etienne on 1st down. He has room past the 25. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go.
To me, now is the time to step on the gas, and you see this more and more in today's game, and it's the right move. Get that explosive run, get right back to the line of scrimmage, and don't let this defense breathe.
In the red zone on 1st. Toward the side of the end zone, but that one's incomplete.
That's going to be a play tomorrow. When they watch it on tape, they're going to be kicking themselves a bit. Okay, you get man-to-man coverage down in the red zone, you got to take advantage of it. It's hard. Zone coverage and the windows are so tight. You get man, got to find a way to win.
Hits the slant. And that's going to be a touchdown. It's on the board for now. But will it stand? We got to see what this flag is all about. Could that penalty come back to haunt him? It's another 2nd and goal.
Hey, lie. Easy. 11.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. He brings it in. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
It is so hard for these defenses. I don't envy them at all. Try to monitor where these running backs are. Are they chipping? Are they delaying their route? It's such an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Lawrence on 3rd and goal. Almost First down 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. So now they're left with 4th and goal. Okay, already a big decision to make on your opening drive, Brock. Is this 4-down territory, or do you take the field goal and be happy to start off with some points?
Well, remember, Kate, and I think we're going to see this all year long. This new kickoff rule is real. You know, that ball now coming out to the 35-yard.
And he brings it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars parlay the interception into points. Cam Little to try the extra point. Right down the middle. It's good. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. On the return, here's Nico Remigio. Showing a little burst so far. And the tackle's made as he gets it out to the 32.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Now Kansas City looks settled in and ready. Here we go. First and 10. Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Devin Lloyd on the tackle.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
The Chiefs signal for a timeout. That's going to be their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. Man downfield, he's got it. It's Worthy. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. That play good for 17 and a first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Left side, it's caught by Rice. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8, second down.
You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
3rd and 2, Mahomes to throw. He finds Worthy, complete. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. Throwing again. Mahomes. This one's to Rice out on the right side. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 17-yard line.
Quite a defensive battle, Brock, that we have got so far as we've reached our 2-minute warning. Hang with us. More football coming up from Everbank. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Looks like a design run here from Mahomes. And he will get this to the end zone for a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Patrick Mahomes, the touchdown. Well, I don't think our audience heard it, Brock. I hope they did. But as soon as he broke forward, oh, it's a fake. Looks like they're going to throw. He tried to trick play, but it's blown up. That's going to be a sack. back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. Bayshul Tootin now on the return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. Up to the races. Middle of the field. He took it all the way. Oh, baby, what a return. Touchdown. Well, when it's set up perfectly, Brock, and you get an exciting return, man. Oh, it's a fake. Looks like they're going to throw. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
You know, that's a call I'll see in the college game, but it's pretty dead and gone in the NFL, and for good reason. Even when you catch them off guard, the chances for success are extremely low. Can't do it.
Here's Smith on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Chiefs coming up to the line here. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Travis Kelce. And they're going to be set up with a first down after a nice gain there as he's down by contact.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
First down throw, Mahomes. Out left, Worthy makes the ground. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. 35 on the pickup. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
First and 10, it's Mahomes. To the left and hauled in by Kelce. Picked up by the Jaguars. He's off to the races. Reaches the 40. Hits the 20. And Jacksonville makes a house call. Touchdown. The Jaguars grow their lead just before halftime. They come up with... Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. So the nice defensive play, all for naught. He was down first, no fumble. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up.
Send a pretty clear message to the QB right there on that one. No one fooled for a second as they create the tackle for loss.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's in for the Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. Manage that clock beautifully. Down to the final moments, Brock, and they get the score just before halftime.
That doesn't change the theme of the halftime speech, but I guarantee you it adds some enthusiasm to the tone. That was awesome.
They can go to the locker rooms tied if they put this through. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Chiefs managed to tie this game. It's 13-all. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. LaQuint Allen to return this. Trying to reverse it on the kick return. And he's walloped just as he gets across the 25. What a hit. He's down shy of the 30. All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime.
All right, let's go. Hey, Ginger, time. 11. Here we go.
back to throw it. And this one is launched downfield. His final shot of the half will not connect. That falls incomplete. No time remaining in our first half. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 coming up. Jaguars ready to take advantage of some good field position they've got here.
Ralph, 11, again.
Lawrence working from the gun. Catch is made down the right sideline. He's going to be hauled down on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down. One play in, Brock, and this drive is already in enemy territory. Out of the gun, again to Etienne. He gets him inside the 40. That's a gain of about 9 yards on the play. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Out of the gun, Lawrence. Completes, it's Myers. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Lawrence here, design keeper. He's got it in the red zone. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. A gain of 15 there. And the Jaguars have a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Working inside the red zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So 2nd down coming up.
On red. Hey, son.
Myers, the motion man here. 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Didn't see a whole lot of room to fit that pass in, Brock. It takes a special quarterback to thread the needle. He couldn't do it.
You know what that's like? That's like passing across your own crease in hockey, Kate. That's a big no-no. When you challenge double coverage in the end zone, and let me tell you, coaches don't really like that either.
So they take their shot for the end zone, Brock, rather than focusing on that first down marker. And now they've got a decision to make.
Yeah, I think with that incompletion, they made the decision. You better send that field goal team on. They took their shot. They just couldn't finish it.
He's back to throw. Got his man. Thomas has it. Across the line, into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars take the lead right away in half number 2. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. That one right down the middle. And the Jaguars break that tie and now lead by 7. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Fields the hard squib kick. He is rocked. That ball's free. And they steal it back on the return. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. Now, we just don't see kick returns nearly as often as we used to, Brock, which makes impact plays on them like that so much rarer.
Yeah, that is so well said. It kind of reminds me of my son's baseball coach, right? At a young age, you're always coaching those guys. Hey, the ball's going to come to you. The ball's going to come to you every single pitch. The ball's going to come to you. And these kickoff cover guys, they got to think in their mind every time is my chance to make a play, and they just did.
Can't go out of bounds and be the first one to touch it coming back in. As they say, that is an easy call. All right, here we go. 2nd down.
Let's go. 11. Hot.
Throwing from the gun here. Chased out to his right. Sends this to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone. And the Chiefs will gain possession up beyond
resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Drive play straight ahead. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, it's plays like that. It's just kind of the meat and potatoes. Not going to make any highlight reel, but just the positive, efficient plays on the ground. You need to keep plays and drives alive.
Rolling out to his left. He's going to keep it this time. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm. Especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it. Able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
To the line. Here's 3rd and 3.
Follow these two. Follow these two. 15.
Here's Mahomes. He's going to push one deep down the right. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down.
That is just a nice stretch of some reps there defensively. Really one of the areas when you watch college game to the NFL game that there is a vast difference. And that's the tightness of coverage. These windows of opportunity are small, and they could not find a completion.
He'll throw it. He's going to try another deep one here. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Into double coverage. Ooh, don't want to do that, and he's there for the interception.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 3-yard line.
Now Kansas City looks settled in and ready. Here we go. 1st and 10. Sending him on the dive. And boy, were they ready to try and stick him there for the safety. As it stands, he's only able to maybe get back to the 2. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to have this up just a little bit shy of the 20. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. All set now. 1st and 10.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yellow.
First and 10.
To the air, Mahomes. That one's cut along the left sideline. And this winds up being an excellent play for them from deep in their own territory, up approaching that 30-yard line. Bringing the offense up to the line. 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Another throw for Mahomes. Escapes the pocket. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
I'll give this quarterback credit. He bought as much time as he could, but eventually, the only option left was to throw it away.
Ball still on that 29-yard line as they come up to it. 2nd and 10. It's a designed run for Mahomes. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Stopped that time by Antonio Johnson.
Just a nice little reminder that this QB is more than a passer. They're going to call his number as a runner too, especially if these defenses don't account for it.
3rd down, it's Mahomes. And a defender's there to knock this away, and that effort means it's 4th down.
I'll tell you what, Kate, challenging this guy in a close game, you are tempting fate. He got one hand on it. He gets 2. It could have gone the other way.
Looking to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete as their gamble doesn't pay off. They're going to turn this one over on downs. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter.
Hey.
First down throw, Lawrence. Gets this one to Myers. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. 3 quarters in the books from this one. It's Jaguars football with a slight lead. Just got to hang on to it for one final quarter.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Soko.
On play action now, Lawrence. Headed out right. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
Short pass brought in. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for first and goal.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
The shot to the end zone is incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. It's second and goal. So they fire for the end zone on first down, Brock. I think a lot of folks probably assume after the incompletion it'd be a run here on second and goal. What say you?
Yeah, I think you always got to be careful about assuming. As a fan, as a defensive coordinator, I think as an offense, you continue.
And he brings it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars go up by 2 scores, 13 points in the fourth. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. Oh, it's a fake. They're going to flip it to the kicker. He's going to throw. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
And a great run back has the offense just a touch shy midfield to start this drive.
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm as guilty as anyone. So hyper-focused on offense and defense, often forgetting it's special teams in a play like that that can swing a game. What a great return now to start out on a short field, and you've got to believe.
Finds a seam, left side, he's off to the races. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs now within 1 score in the fourth. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that. Oh, look at this. They're faking it. And the defense sees right through those smoke and mirrors and take him to the turf. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. The Jaguars in a good starting spot here, coming up on 1st and 10.
Red on red. 30 left. Turn.
From the shotgun, Lawrence gets everything he has under this one. Put the body on the line for his team. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset. All set up for an insurance score here. It's 1st and goal.
On red.
From the red zone on 1st. They did it! He made the interception! There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the second half of a one-score game.
And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now. They did a great play. Don't get me wrong. They deserve a ton of credit right there. But as a quarterback, you cannot risk a turnover. It's touchdown, it's check down, it's throw the ball away. You're literally throwing points away with that pick.
Blitz coming, Mahomes. Finds him on the crossing route. And he's taken down after a very productive effort there, Brock, up to the 40-yard line. It's a 30-yard gain, Brock, so unsurprisingly, that gives him a first down.
Well, that's sure one way to take the lid off the defense. Great work to find the biggest hole in the coverage, and more importantly, go exploit it.
First down throw, Mahomes. That's caught. It's Kelsey again. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a Chiefs first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Attack! Hey, rip list. Collect.
Pressure coming for Mahomes. He finds Smith here underneath. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. It's a gain of 22. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City.
I don't know about you, Kate, but I think somebody's auditioning for some extra work as a receiver. If he could do that coming out of the backfield, imagine the damage he could do if they sent him out into one of those spots out wide.
Back to the air, Mahomes. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, he already has himself one interception in this game, partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse and sprinkle into your passing game.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they come through the sack to bring around third down. It's the 2-minute warning here in Jacksonville. Chiefs down by 7. So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. Looking to throw. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds. Great play defensively there to just get a hand in there and deny that touchdown.
That's exactly right. Active hands and aggressive mindset. As a DB, you've got to assume that every throw is going to be a touchdown. And you're the last line of defense, the guy that's got to make the play on the ball, and he just did.
And it's incomplete. They dialed up their best effort, Brock, but they come up empty. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
You know, these fourth down plays are all about trust. You lean into what you do best. Unfortunately, with the lack of execution, you're going to throw that one off the playlist.
And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
Dude, if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 100 times. Completions, completions, completions. Well, that wasn't the